Welcome to the deep dive. You ever think about how an idea, how it can just take off even after the person behind it is, well, gone?
Absolutely. Ideas can have a life of their own.
That's exactly what we're exploring today, digging into the 2005 film V for Vendetta. It's more than just your typical dystopian thriller.
Oh, definitely. It's almost like a rallying cry, really, even though it's based on the comic book.
Right. So our mission here is to sort of unpack its main idea, the core themes, and that message. The one that made some people nervous and others feel, well, inspired.
And why those images, especially the mask, still pop up everywhere.
Exactly. Why it still kind of haunts our political imagination today. Okay, so let's get into it. At its heart, V for Vendetta, it really hammers home the power of an idea, doesn't it, over, any single person.
It really does.
And V, the main character, he deliberately takes himself out of the equation. He's not looking for followers for himself.
No, not at all. It's about the idea.
Yeah, the idea that people shouldn't fear their governments. It should be the other way around. Governments should fear their people.
That's the core principle.
But how does a story like that keep you hooked? Emotionally, I mean, when the hero is basically a symbol.
Well, that's a great question. And I think the film pulls it off pretty effectively, mainly through contrast.
Contrast, how so?
You've got the state, all rigid, using fear, propaganda, surveillance, the usual tools.
Okay.
And then V counters all that with theater, spectacle. He basically creates his own myth.
So it's not just about blowing things up.
Not at all. It shifts the whole thing. It becomes less about overthrowing one specific leader and much more about waking people up.
Right, awakening the populace.
Exactly. And it's kind of radical when you think about it, the idea that for real change, the individual ego has to dissolve. The idea becomes the thing that can't be stopped.
Which is why, by the end, the man is gone, but the mask is everywhere.
Precisely. The idea wins. It triumphs over the individual. What's fascinating here is how effectively this contrast drives the central premise.
And that idea that governments should fear the people, it flows right into the film's main theme, I think, freedom through consciousness.
Yes, absolutely.
The movie kind of throws this question at you, the listener. What would you actually do if you were completely free to act?
It's a challenging question.
And it gives a pretty stark warning, too, doesn't it? That just sitting back, apathy. That's how tyranny takes root.
Indeed. Apathy is the breeding ground for tyranny, as the film suggests. And it weaves in other threads, too, exploring this whole idea.
Like what?
Well, think about identity versus anonymity. V puts on the mask to erase himself, his ego.
Right.
But Eva, her journey is the opposite. She sheds her metaphorical masks to find out who she really is. It's quite a contrast.
That's a really interesting parallel. Her journey is incredible.
And then there's the cost of resistance. V's whole mission starts from personal tragedy, sure, but it's fueled by this belief that you have to be willing to sacrifice for the bigger picture.
For the collective, yeah.
And, maybe most importantly, truth as a weapon. The government controls the story, twists it. V's job is to expose that, to show the lies. So the real fight is happening in people's minds.
So if you pull all that together, the message isn't just burn it all down, right? Some people might see the ending that way.
I think that's a simplification, yeah. It's more nuanced. It's about questioning authority. It's about resisting when you need to, when justice demands it,
Okay.
and remembering that change. Well, real change is almost never comfortable. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't about chaos, but about informed resistance.
So what does this all mean for you? That's the question it leaves you with. Thinking about Evie's journey, those mirror shots, that was always powerful for me. Seeing her literally see herself differently.
Yeah, the visual storytelling is incredibly strong.
Which brings us to the symbolism. Beyond the words, the plot. The visuals in V for Vendetta are like a whole other language.
Oh, completely. It's dense with symbolism. You could almost watch it with the sound off and still get a lot.
So let's break some of that down. The mask, obviously.
The Guy Fawkes mask, yeah.
Yeah.
It starts as this historical footnote, right?
Yeah.
A symbol of a failed rebellion.
Right, from 1605.
And the film turns it into this potent revolutionary tool. It hides the individual, V, but at the same time, it amplifies the idea he represents. Anyone can be behind the mask.
It erases one face but creates 1,000 others.
Exactly. And then you've got the letter V. That V shape is everywhere once you start looking.
Oh yeah, like where?
Knife trails, explosions, patterns, even how scenes are framed, the set design. It's this constant visual reminder, an ever-present reminder of V's cause.
Huh. I'll have to rewatch for that. What about the roses?
The Scarlet Carsons, V's signature, right? He
Yeah.
leaves them with his victims.
Yeah.
But they're also this symbol of beauty, of something delicate, persisting, even in the midst of all that violence and destruction.
And you mentioned mirrors before, with Evie.
Yes. The mirrors and reflections track her entire arc. At the beginning, she's sort of small, hesitant in reflections, maybe looking away. By the end, she's looking right at herself. Clear-eyed, no mask, literal or figurative.
It shows her transformation so clearly.
It really does. And finally, the big moments, the fireworks, the explosions.
The Parliament building.
Right. They aren't just sabotage. They're performances designed to be seen, to be remembered, to spark something in people.
To inspire.
Exactly. And fire there. It feels like it symbolizes cleansing, renewal, not just pure destruction.
You know, thinking about when it came out, mid-2000s, that was deep in the post-9/11 era.
Absolutely.
Lots of talk about security versus liberty, and many people saw the film as, well, a direct comment on all that, the politics of fear.
It definitely tapped into the zeitgeist of that moment, no question.
But it still feels relevant now, doesn't it?
It does. And I think the reason V for Vendetta keeps resonating isn't because it just nailed one specific historical moment. It's because it taps into patterns, things that repeat.
Patterns.
Yeah. Every generation seems to face its own version of authoritarian shadows, its own battles over truth, its own need for rebels, masked or not.
Which probably explains why the mask itself became so huge.
Oh, absolutely. You saw it everywhere. Anonymous, Occupy Wall Street, protests all over the globe.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting, its use often drifted pretty far from the specific context of the film. It just became this general anti-establishment symbol.
A symbol of resistance, broadly speaking.
Right. And that shows the risk and the power of a symbol, doesn't it? Once it's out there, it doesn't really belong to the creator anymore. It takes on its own life.
That raises an important question about how symbols evolve, how meanings change.
Definitely. How they take on a life of their own.
And, you know, beyond the message and the symbols, the film itself kind of made waves in Hollywood, too, didn't it?
It did. It showed you could mix pretty sharp political, ideological critique with big-budget genre entertainment.
Had a global hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It proved there was an appetite for that kind of filmmaking. It really became a cultural touchstone.
So when we look back, the lasting genius of V for Vendetta, it isn't just that it points out that governments can be corrupt or that revolutions get messy. We kind of know that.
No, it's more fundamental. It reminds you that powerful ideas, they don't need a face. They don't need a name. They don't even need a single life to keep going.
And if an idea is truly worth fighting for, it can be bulletproof.